Roll.
Roll call?
Trustee Blower.
Yes.
Trustee McGurran.
Yes.
Trustee Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Public participation. I'll dispense with the rules. Steve Fagley wants to talk about Steve Miller.
Steve Hagley, 4049 Cypress Lane. Sure, there'll be many following me, so I'm gonna mention two things. I appreciate everybody here. Every fire department has to know any residential fire they walk into. Might be the result of some idiot cooking meth. Glad all you are brave enough to do that. I'm not. Steve, I'm glad you're willing to be responsible for that. I'm not. So thank you for that. Number two, I Like an Eagle is my favorite album all the time. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
Laura Heller. He wants to talk about the JED.
Just for 1 second.
Yep.
1001.
Laura Heiler, 1420 Hine Road. I appreciate the time and the effort that you guys have put into your research for the JED. We had talked the last meeting. I just put some thoughts down on paper. I don't want to waste anyone's time tonight because we have a much more important business to get to, but I would just like to present my thoughts on paper to the three trustees and certainly welcome to discuss those at any time in the future.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
thank you, Steve. Happy retirement.
Thank you, Laura.
I bet the keys to your sports car are outside.
Are they really?
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you. Thank you.
Procedural actions. Move for the adoption of motion number 24-030 to dispense with the reading of the minutes from the February 1st, 2024 regular meeting and the February 15th, 2024 work session. I need a second.
You got it?
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Blower.
Yes.
Trustee Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Trustee McGurran.
Yes. Move for the adoption of motion number 24-031 to approve the minutes of the February 1, 2024 regular meeting. I need a second.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Blower.
Yes.
Trustee Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Trustee McGurran.
Yes. Move for the adoption of motion number 24-032 to approve the minutes of the February 15th, 2024 work session. I need a second.
You got one?
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Blower.
Yes.
Trustee Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Trustee McGurran.
Yes. Reports. Fiscal Officer Julie Joyce Smith.
Thank you. For you tonight, for you to review, I have quite a few things for you to review, and some of the things require signatures. The first item coming around for your review and signature, the certification of purchase orders since the last meeting. You will note there were still a handful of purchase orders that were created for 2023. That will no longer be the case after this meeting. The year was finally closed on February 21st, so 2023 has been wrapped up. Also, for your review and your signature, certification of checks written since the last meeting. Now, in front of you, you have your management reports for the month, and these are all reflect the month of February. The first one with the blue banner on the top is the export of the receipts. This is everything it was receipted in for the month of February. There's nothing on this list that's extraordinary that jumps out. I will say we received our first advance on our first half real estate, and it was up rather significantly, which is not a surprise with the way the values went up. So, but we won't have a finalized settlement for another several weeks. You also have in front of you is the revenue summary for February, and that just details all the revenues by account and by fund. And then there's a fund summary for February, and then there's an appropriation status report for February, and that just lets you know how we're spending in this first 2 months of the year. So moving on, but after attending the OTA conference in Columbus this past January, I became aware of a different report that might be beneficial for you. Because the way we approve our budget, we do it at the lowest legal level of control, meaning I have the ability to move money within a fund. For example, general fund, I can move money from supplies to contract services, et cetera. I can do the same for fire, police, and road. And that's because of the way we do it. We have our carryover, and that sits in a fund called contingency, and every department has a contingency. It's the rainy day fund. It's the money that we don't spend. It's the carryover, but it's available should we need to spend it. And a lot of times, especially towards the end of the year, I move money around. We don't have enough money in supplies, et cetera. So there is a report that I will start submitting now at the close of every month with the bank statement. And so you have for your review an appropriation supplemental report for January and an appropriation supplemental report for February. I am going to ask you to sign off on these monthly. This just lets you see how I've moved money in and out, and you will always see where you see 1,000 in general fund or 1,000 out, you'll see 1,000 in. So it's always balanced. So those are items for you to review and to sign. Also, because I was able to close the year, we now have the bank reconciliations for January and for February, and they both have the statements attached to those. So I need signatures on that. And then I have the January bank reconciliation, not the bank reconciliation, the credit card attestation. And we finally have Mr. Young's account set up, although there's no expenses, but he's actually official on that report. And then that's all I have for reports. I do want to talk very briefly about a couple of different items that you have in front of you to be approved legislatively. So do you have any questions about any of the reports or the new report? Anything like that? Hearing none, you're busy signing. I'll go ahead. The first item that you're going to have for legislation this evening in front of you is the 2024 appropriation budget and the approval of permanent appropriations for 2024. Now that I've closed the year, now that we have final carryover value or amounts and things, I can amend appropriations. This is a step that the Budget Commission requires is done by April 1st. So getting this done tonight puts us a little bit ahead of the curve, and that's never a bad thing. So you'll have that for discussion and in front of you for a vote. And then the second item that you'll have for consideration is if we accept the permanent appropriations as presented, then I will need to amend the revenue budget, and we need an amended certificate for the 2024 calendar year. So those two things go hand in hand. And if you look at the numbers carefully and closely, you'll notice that permanent appropriations are balanced to the revenue budget. Don't normally appropriate all of the carryover, but it's just cleaner to do it this way. It's a lot less confusing down the road. So that's everything that I have for you gentlemen this evening. Like I said, if you have any questions about anything, I am happy to try to answer.
I have no questions.
Okay.
That's good.
And I will let you move on with the next one.
Purpose. The 2024 appropriations budget was the sole topic of conversation at special meetings of the board on November 28th and 29th, 2023. The following resolution approves and establishes expense levels under the 2024 appropriations budget. Move for the adoption of resolution number 2024-009, making permanent appropriation of funds for expenditures during the fiscal year ending December 31, 2024. I need a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Blower?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes, ma'am.
Trustee McGurran?
Yes. Purpose, in order to financially account for the final 2023 carryover balances, revenue funds must be amended in the 2024 financial budget. This resolution amends those funds. Move for the adoption of resolution number 2024-010, amending revenue in various funds and requesting an amended certificate of estimated resources from the Butler County Auditor. Need a second?
You got one?
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Blower,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes, ma'am.
trustee McGurran.
Yes.
And before you move on, I have one more item. The annual financial report for 2023 is available. There'll be a copy here, sitting usually at the table where the refreshments are tonight. So if anyone ever would like to come in and review it, it's available for review 9 a.m. to about 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. The notice went to the news and it will be published on Sunday's edition of the Hamilton Journal News, but it's available. So if you want some exciting reading.
Purpose, approval to pay the bills. Move for the adoption of motion number 24-033 to pay the bills as presented through the fiscal officer's certification of purchase orders. Need a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Blower,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes, ma'am.
trustee McGurran.
Yes. Department reports. Administrator Lori Kyle.
Good evening. First, I would just like to remind the board that the Butler County Board of Commissioners would like proposals for the ARPA funding that they are providing the township. The funding projects need to be approved by you by the form of a resolution before they're submitted to the county, and the county would like them by the end of this month. So you have, after this meeting, one meeting left to approve that resolution. During your discussion about the topic under old business, you will also notice in your packet, RAM has submitted another proposal. They do not wish to compete against G Foods. However, should you determine to not fund G Foods, RAM has shown how they could expend all of the $150,000. Also, to let the board know in regards to community aggregation program, opt-out letters will be mailed to all eligible residents and small businesses. The letters should go out on or around March 24th. The opt-out period ends April 15th. A reminder, eligible customers are those that are currently on Duke's default generation supply, meaning they are not already with a third-party supplier. They are not on a percentage of income plan. They have not put their name on PUCO's do not aggregate list, and they are a business that uses less than 700,000 kilowatts annually. Also in your packet is a nuisances update. There is information regarding both nuisances. Last week, Chief Miller and I went to a hearing on the burned structure on Robin Avenue. The judge has determined he is going to give the township the authority to demolish the structure. The attorney present with the prosecutor's office just needs to submit the paperwork, and the judge indicated he would sign off on that. So hopefully we'll have that soon. And secondly, on the Butler County Auditor's website, ownership has transferred for the trailer on Oriole. The trailer was sold recently in a sheriff's sale, and the ownership transfer has taken place. So I'll watch that property for a while. If no action is taking place, then we'll put it under the nuisance abatement process. And finally, I would just like to express my congratulations to Chief Miller on his upcoming retirement. It's been a pleasure working with you
Same here.
and sitting here beside you during these meetings.
Thank you.
And that's all administration has this evening.
Regard to Oriole, have you had any contact with the new owner of that property?
I have not, but yeah, I have a mailing address, so when, when the time comes, we do have the means to get in touch with them.
When does the time come for that? When's normal and customary that he should be moving on that? And since late last year?
I believe the ownership transfer occurred on February 16th.
Yeah. Is 30 days reasonable?
I would think so.
By next meeting, we should hear. Okay. All right, what kind of structure is on Robin? Is that a house or?
A house, yes. It's burned twice.
One more time. Fire
Russ.
Department Chief Steve Miller.
Thank you. For the month of February, the department responded to 101 incidents. 71 of those were EMS related, 61 in Ross Township, 7 in the village of Millville, 1 mutual aid assistant in Hamilton, and 2 in Hanover Township. 30 fire runs, 28 in Ross Township, 1 in the village of Millville, and 1 structure fire response into the city of Hamilton. We received mutual aid last month, 1 from Hanover on a motor vehicle accident, 3 from Morgan Township, 1 for a structure fire, and 2 were EMS assist. We got 1 from our friends at Colerain Township Fire Department. Thank you, Shane, for a structure fire. And we had 2 mutual aid requests from Riley Township, 1 for a structure fire, and the other one was a large animal rescue. We had a horse that was literally stuck in about a foot of mud for about 2 days. And those guys are awesome with their equipment, and they were able to help us get that horse up on all 4 legs and move on. So, and he was 34 years old.
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, so that was a good run. Something that's not on the agenda is I got a phone call the other day from our sales rep from Braun on our life squad. I know it sounds like a broken record. It's been over 2.5 years. It'll be almost 3 years before we get this damn thing. At least they now saying we're projected to get it in June or July. It's been pushed back a month because of one of their manufacturers have some problems with electronic components, so it's been back ordered and all that. But the good news is I signed off on design review, so it's in the hopper. So hopefully in June or July, the department will have a new Red Life Squad. So, but it's crazy. One of the guys that worked for us, I used to work for St. Bernard, just ordered a new one, and they're giving him a 3-year delivery date on a Life Squad. It's just unbelievable. But that's all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chief. Fire Department, Paul Bulak, anything to report?
I have nothing to report. I just want to say, Steve, it's been great working with you, bud.
I'm here, Paul. Appreciate you.
Police Department, in lieu of Sergeant Rogers being sick and not being able to be here. Lori?
Good evening. The monthly report for February 2024 for the Ross Township Police Department. Calls for service, there were 21 auto accidents, 1 burglary, 9 domestic disputes, 3 drug activity arrests, 1 mental EDP, 1 OVI, 1 shots fired, 1 sex offense, 14 suspicious vehicles or persons, and 208 other, for a total of 260 calls for service. Self-initiated calls, there were 338 business checks, 246 vacation checks, 118 extra details, 91 traffic stops, for a total of 793 self-initiated calls. Have any questions about their report that I could forward to the department?
I do not.
I have one.
And secondly, the police department would like permission to promote the cadet that they sent through the academy. Graduation was last week, and to hire a new full-time officer that also just graduated from the academy.
Purpose, hire full-time police officer Morgan Spencer and promote full-time police department employee Sean Stamper to police officer. Move for the adoption of motion number 24-034 to hire Morgan Spencer into the position of full-time police officer at the rate of $27.04 per hour and promote full-time police department employee Sean Stamper to police officer. This employment is subject to the completion of all pre-employment testing, and both the employment and promotion are in accordance with current staffing and pay rate resolution. Need a second?
That one.
Discussion? Roll call?
Trustee Blower?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes, ma'am.
Trustee McGurran?
Yes. Township business, old business. Decision is needed on projects submitted for the Butler County Board of Commissioners local community allocation of ARPA SLFRF SLRF funding. We have two groups that have applied. We'll discuss that.
Sure.
I've been emailing Levi back and forth about what his plans are. Use with the money, if G is awarded some. I did, we're going to discuss it.
This?
Okay. One of the further questions I asked Mr. Grimm about was how many Ross families would be served by 435,000 pounds of food? And he gave me a reasonable answer. It's long. I don't really think we have to go into every pound of food with it. I also asked him how long that supply of food would support your mission. 435,000 pounds of food is roughly a half a year of what they would recover and use in a year, and you use it in a half a year. What are your other means of gathering food was another question I asked him. They gave a very detailed answer on how they procure food. And I asked him also, since we live in a rather agricultural area, have you approached the local farmers for produce and food, which they have. Prior to that, I had submitted to him quite a few other questions. Seems to me that they're a very well-organized, well-intended group and would serve the Ross area and perhaps a little bit beyond very well. What do you guys think?
I read his response to your questions, and like you said, he's very lengthy, very thorough. Good communicator.
We're getting toward the end of where we need to make that decision. We just have the two. We have RAM and G Foods, GEE Foods. They've both submitted what their intents are to use the money for. Everything I've read says that it's in line with what Butler County commissioners are intending for us to oversee and make sure that the money's used appropriately.
Now, we haven't had a motion for the donation or the allocation of that money to Ross Morgan Ministries yet, correct?
Correct.
We're going to do that all at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we're going to make a decision on our work session at the end of the month, correct?
Would be the 21st.
You'll need to approve.
We need to approve
The
it then?
resolution will need to be finalized.
I'm sorry?
The resolution will need to be finalized at
Be
that.
finalized? All right, at that meeting, I'd like to see a motion that would, the original asking for Ross Morgan Ministries be on the agenda for a motion, And also the request for JEE food be in a motion for that meeting, for the amount that they requested.
So 75,000 for each. Okay.
I'm
Good with that? All
Yes,
right.
oh, yes.
Okay.
I think since we don't have homeless around here, we can feed people. I think the money would be a lot better spent that way, tell you the truth.
Agreed. Hey, anything further from the board on old business? New business. I have a request from the Village and Farm Club for approval of township funds for mulch and planting preparation for landscaping at State Route 128 and US 27. We did we asked for some pictures and where they want to where they want to make nice and use the money that they've asked the township for the funds for. Keith, want to talk about that?
Yes, the Village Farm and Garden Club has anticipated that they're going to pay for more work than what has been done in the past, which is, in of course, with everything else going on in our lives with the economy, the bids have gone, are quite high. And I was thinking of a couple ways to bring down the cost in mulching every 2 years. So I've thought of on certain flower beds, which would be up on the hillside around the trees, to move those from mulch to a type of stone. I did this at my residence over 15 years ago, just for the fact I was tired of remulching and tired of picking weeds through the mulch all the time. Just looking for less maintenance on that. I don't have a price of what overside would cost per ton. I feel maintenance prices could go down a little bit using our township dump truck, township Bobcat, and board manpower and garden club manpower. We'll speak further about that, more about that at the work session with member Ray Witzebacher, and I think Emily will be there. And we'll discuss it. Ray's fingers up. Yes, sir.
Easy. The only problem with that would be putting large stones around in those areas there is we're not no spring chickens. And walking on stones like that is going to be kind of difficult for all of us to walk on that because we do spend a lot of time doing the trimming and pulling the weeds and stuff like that. So I wouldn't recommend walking on stones like that for us people.
What about a smaller aggregate? There's that company outside of Sharonville that's at 275 and 75 where I've bought stone and they have all kinds of varieties. Before our meeting, I'll swing in there and get some of their literature and pictures because you can go down to the size of 1 inch.
I would have to bring that up,
Okay.
with the meeting. So, but we'll see what happens. We have a meeting Monday night,
Okay.
so I can get back with you after Monday.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very
Thank you.
much.
That's all I have on that.
Okay. Anything else from the board on new business? Okay, announcements. Representative Jennifer Gross will be conducting a town hall meeting on Monday, March 25th, 2024, from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. here at the Ross Township Administration Building. Anything from the board on announcements?
Attended.
Correspondence. The Ohio Department of Liquor Control sent notice of an application for a liquor permit to be transferred from Sub Rosa Retail Incorporated, doing business as IGA Plus at 3743 Hamilton Cleves Road, to 140 Mansfield Properties LLC, 3743 Hamilton Cleves Road. The police department has no objection. Does the board request a hearing on the matter?
I do not.
Since the hands were already hit.
It's just a transfer. Okay. Topics for next work sessions. Resolution approval for projects submitted for Butler County Board of Commissioners local community allocation of ARPA SLURF funding. Number 2, responses from Duke Energy regarding streetlights and discussion on implementation of Ross Hamilton JED. Future work session, township policy on the new legalization of marijuana. Update or review township policy on time clock usage. Speed limit change on Lehigh Road just north of School Road from 55 miles per hour to 35 miles per hour because of the new traffic entering from Venice Crossing. Sale of unused property on Morgan Lane and the replacement of a township sign at US 27 and 128. Recognition of Fire Chief Steve Miller's retirement. In honor of Fire Chief Steve Miller's retirement, I move for the adoption of motion number 24-035 to proclaim the Board of Trustees' sincere appreciation and gratitude to Steve Miller for outstanding service to the citizenry of Ross Township, and congratulations on the occasion of his retirement from over 45 years of dedicated public service on April 5th, 2024, and acknowledging April 5th, 2024 as Fire Chief Steve Miller Day in Ross Township. I need a second.
Second. Oh,
You got two of them.
all right. I'll do that one, Keith.
Roll call.
Trustee Blower?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes, ma'am.
Trustee McGurran?
Yes. I got it.
Okay. What? And he's got his order.
I want to recognize a few people here tonight before we get to the proclamation and presentation for Steve. We already saw that former trustee Ray Wurzelbacher is here tonight. Thank you, Ray. Oxford Fire Chief Dethridge and Butler County, Oxford Fire Chief Dethridge and Butler County Fire Chiefs Association President is here. Michael Birding, Fairfield Township Trustee. Matt Haverkos, former Executive Director of Butler County EMA. Bob Bass, former Ross Township Administrator, and John Fisher, former Ross Township Trustee. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm going to read a proclamation here. Chief Miller. By the Board of Trustees of Ross Township, Butler County, Ohio, recognizing Fire Chief Steve Miller for more than 20 years of outstanding service to the Ross Township, and on the occasion of his retirement from public service and acknowledging April 5th, 2024 as Fire Chief Steve Miller Day in Ross Township. Whereas in January of 2004, Steve Miller was named Chief of Ross Township Fire Department, and whereas Steve has dedicated his time and talents to the residents, elected officials, and employees of Ross Township in exemplary fashion, and instilled a sense of dedication to the department's mission of save lives, protect property, protect the environment, provide the best possible service to the community, and to treat people nice. And whereas Steve has advanced the department in the areas of safety, training, strategy, and tactics, EMS, equipment and technology, communications, fire prevention, and community education. And whereas Steve's 45-year career in fire service, he has obtained his professional fire certification, became a state certified fire inspector, a state fire instructor, an arson investigator, hazmat specialist, and is building emergency response team certified. Chief Miller was one of the original members of the Hamilton County Urban Search and Rescue Team and was a member of the Ohio Task Force 1 Urban Search and Rescue Team. And whereas in addition to serving Ross Township, Steve has served the state of Ohio and the nation as incident commander for the state of Ohio, Butler County Incident Management Team at incidents such as Claremont County, Ohio tornado, Black Forest, Colorado wildland fires, civil unrest, Baltimore, Maryland, 2016 blizzard in Baltimore, Maryland, hurricanes Irma, Michael, Ida, Ian, and Irene, and the train derailment of East Palestine, Ohio. And whereas Steve serves as an executive board member of the Butler County Emergency Management Agency, board member, and the Butler County Technical Rescue Team, a member of the Training Advisory Board for the Colerain Township Fire and EMS Department, a consultant with the Ohio Fire Chiefs Association, a member of the National Fire Protection Association, the International Association of Fire Chiefs, the Ohio Fire Chiefs Association, the Butler County Fire Chiefs Association, and the Ohio Firefighters Association. It's quite a list. Now and therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of the Township Trustees, Ross Township, Butler County, Ohio, that said board herein express its sincere appreciation and gratitude to Steve Miller for outstanding service to the citizenry of Ross Township, Butler County, Ohio. And it is further proclaimed that the Board of Ross Township Trustees congratulates Steve Miller on the occasion of his retirement from over 45 years of dedicated public service on April 5th, 2024, and acknowledges Friday, April 5th, 2024, as Fire Chief Steve Miller Day in Ross Township. In witness hereof, we have hereunto set our hands and caused the seal of Ross Township, Butler County, Ohio, to be affixed on this proclamation on the 7th day of March, 2024.
You know, when they hear Steve Miller, Chief Steve Miller Day, they're going to think the Steve Miller Band's coming. Get ready, EMA. Thank you.
I would like to say something. Back in the day, most of you people might remember when they used to take baby shoes and have them bronze. And remember your babies? Now, he's not a baby, but I would like to have his fire boots bronze so that people coming in to take his place can see if they can fill the boots or not. Agreeable?
Well, they're probably going to use them. As soon as I leave, they'll probably give them to somebody else.
Chief, you've created a mold by which all future Ross Township fire chiefs will be measured. The shadow of dedication that your time as Ross Township Fire Chief has cast is indeed long and wide. The mountain of respect you have brought to our department will stand as a testament to the decades of work that now define your career. Your sense of duty and professionalism is only eclipsed by the light you have forever shone in the town you call home. The words that I used are dedication, respect, and professionalism, and they serve only to underemphasize the monumental difference you have made in our township, our county, our state, and truly in our nation. While it has been our task to fill your position, it will be the next chief's task to fill your shoes. We clearly have the easiest of the two tasks. It is my honor to present you with a token of appreciation, having proclaimed Friday, April 5th, 2024 as Steve G. Miller Day in Ross Township.
Oh. Yeah, you got it.
Thank you, sir.
Open the box.
Yeah, absolutely.
Corey, can you take some pictures? I didn't have.
Oh, wow.
Didn't bring it.
Look at that, honey. Something for the man on. That's awesome. Thank you, Lori.
Hold on, we're getting some pictures. Pull that back out.
Yeah,
Okay.
and this segment's going to go on for a little
That's
while.
awesome. I better put my coat on or my wife will get mad at me.
Give you a moment to put your coat on.
After we do one round of pictures, do a break. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. You get your picture taken.
Yeah, she gets her picture took today. Let's get these chairs.
That's right.
Hey, so I went on a diet a couple months back. I used to have to get these extenders for my shirt, and I was so proud of myself tonight. I was able to. And I'll probably lose another 20 pounds not eating firehouse lunches, right, Rick?
Steve in the middle right here.
Get this.
Black.
Black in your.
How about this? Is it good?
Housekeeping.
No, I think we're good. All right, that looks good.
Ken, we'll get one with you and your wife.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
absolutely. Thank you, guys. Come on up, bud. That's awesome, guys. I really appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Everybody knows I get to go on the right side.
I know.
Oh, you don't? Dave, can you move that completely off the
What?
the chair and everything? Yeah, thank you. That's
Smile.
well. I'm gonna be. There we go.
For those non-firefighters, except the crew over here, when Steve was chief of Millville and the old Plectrons, every time he was woke up for a squad call or a fire call, so was his wife.
Oh, yeah.
Every night.
Yep. I'm just gonna stay here while you continue on.
Bill, Kim, want pictures with your brother and brother-in-law?
Now you got to leave your, my brother just got new glasses, doesn't he look sexy?
So we're right on schedule.
Start to cry. You know how emotional I am.
Don't do that.
We'll put you in the center.
You're lovely. Thank you.
You got it.
You just
Are we
keep
done with
going
him?
with the list is several other presentations.
Yeah, I'm not sure what list you're talking about. I'm not sure what list you're referring to.
Oh, no, where's the list where we wrote on? Here's the whole list.
Oh, okay,
The next one.
okay.
How many more years you got?
Acknowledge Chief Warren Davidson, Representative Zach Bohannon. You here?
Yes.
Take this with me.
Your plaque.
Get some picture.
Well, good evening. My name is Zach Bohannon. I serve as the Butler County Field Representative for Congressman Warren Davidson of Ohio's 8th Congressional District. And I come bringing a special commendation that I'd like to read for Chief Miller on this occasion. Dear Steve, congratulations on your retirement from the Ross Township Fire Department. I know this is a very special occasion for you, for your family, and your friends. 46 years, you have selflessly contributed to the fire service at the local, regional, and national level. From serving on various county and state fire associations to completing numerous deployments in support of natural disasters around the country, your impact goes well beyond the community of Ross Township. In addition, your leadership, mentorship, and commitment to the development of others is widely recognized. A simple thank you seems inadequate, but thank you for your devotion and years of service. I wish you much happiness as you enter retirement. And if I ever may be of assistance, please do not hesitate to contact me. Sincerely, Warren Davidson, Member of Congress.
We have a representative here from State Representative Jennifer Gross's office. Didn't make it. Okay.
Yeah, I think Assistant Chief.
Shane Packer, Colerain Township.
There's no representative from the office.
Okay.
Keep going.
Is this for all?
Uh-huh.
Signal for Frank?
Wow.
So from the Ohio House of Representatives, on behalf of the members of the Ohio House of Representatives of the 135th General Assembly, we are pleased to extend special recognition to Stephen Miller on the occasion of your retirement as Chief of the Ross Township Fire Department. Throughout 46 years of distinguished service, you've demonstrated an unwavering dedication to performing your duties and fulfilling responsibilities of the utmost efficiency and competence. Serving Millville Fire Department as a volunteer and captain, rising to the rank of fire chief in 1992. You maintained that position of chief until the merger with Ross Township Fire Department. And then during your tenure, you served with many programs and initiatives and also responded to numerous natural disasters. You've given willingly of your time, energy, and abilities far beyond what is required or expected. You're certainly deserving of high praise. At a time when many people are content to taking a passive role in life, you have chosen a vocation in which you have often risked your own safety to ensure the well-being of your fellow citizens, and the enthusiasm and devotion to you that you have shown in all of your endeavors have earned you the respect and gratitude of your peers in the community that you have capably served. Indeed, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have established a record of professional achievement that is worthy of emulation. Your leadership and expertise will be sorely missed.
Thank you.
Grateful refreshments. Any employees, firefighters, paramedics, EMTs that want to get their picture took with in front of the seal. All the time. Try to squeeze in.
Or if you have anything to say.
We're not done with you.
Now let it go.
All right.
You guys might have Okay, you guys might have to do two different rows. If you have some like body feeling.
Some people.
Get in the middle.
Panorama. You guys are gonna have to.
On your sword, get in the middle.
Stand sideways. There you go.
Panorama.
And then, Lieutenant, where you may have to. There you go. Let's go. Wait a minute, I gotta go back for this. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Shots on it. Okay. Oh, good night. I'm ready. There's so many of you. All right. 1, 2, 3. Chief. All right. There we go. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. You guys done?
No. There's should be more. There should be more. I'll just jump in line. All right, on behalf of Administrator Kyle, Superintendent Paul Bulak, Chief Bert Roberts, and myself, now I'm gonna cry. We've got you something that we think will be near and dear to your heart. It's really fragile.
Is it?
Yeah.
Say that word more.
I know. I think I know what this is. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's from Inspirational Studios, guys.
I know, yep, we commissioned this for him, and it says, be professional, be adaptable, be nice.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And then there's a flyer about the artist that's in there as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Steve,
And then,
is that a 10-inch or 12-inch saw blade?
Raymond.
12, okay.
now Jim Bolin from EMA.
Executive Director, Butler County EMA.
There's Teresa, at least.
Good evening, everyone. I brought up with me former Director Haverkos of the Butler County Emergency Management Agency. I'm Jim Bowen, the director, and I wanted to say just a couple words about Chief Miller. Chief Miller, you have served on our board. You have served on the board of our special operations. You've served as a member of our incident management team. You've done so much for our organization, and I'm incredibly thankful for all that you've done. I'm also incredibly thankful for your friendship and your mentorship and the help that you've provided me over the years. Thank you.
Thank you. You mean Matt Haverkos is not going to say anything?
Well, I was going to say your best quality, but you would say my best quality is that I can talk. So
He can't talk.
So I'll save you the pain.
Thank you so much, guys.
Hold on.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Steve. We are now on the payroll. Great. Thank you, gentlemen.
You guys.
I think that's about it.
Well, good. So let me take the floor for a second. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve the people of Ross Township. Mainly because I live here. We live here. I wasn't going to do this. Can't look at her. But she's been my rock for 44 years. We'll be married 44 years. But I've been on the fire service for 46. And I always teased her that the fire department has seniority. And I learned pretty quick that I was wrong. Family comes first. And I've always tried to instill that into all of our members. I don't care what they had going on, his family always come first. And everybody needs to live by that. I'd like to thank the Board of Trustees. I've had a real short time with you guys. I wish you nothing but the best. I know you guys got the best interest for Ross Township, and I'll be here to support you 100%.
Thanks, Steve.
With that said, been able to work with a couple other trustees, John Fisher in the back for a short time, Jennifer Patterson. And then I had a pleasure of working with Ray Woodsbacher, Ellen Yorty, and this guy here for like 18 years. It was awesome. And I appreciate your support. Gosh darn it. I wasn't going to do this. I was practicing all day. The administration. I've had the privilege of working with a gentleman in the back, Bob Bass, for about 10 or 11 years. We became professional friends and became friends, and I appreciate your mentorship. Lori has been here, 3 years? I've immensely enjoyed our working relationship over the last 3 years. You're doing a hell of a job. Keep it up. Fiscal officers, I've been blessed. Probably 15 years with Judy Huffman, taught me so much. But then along came J2, Julie Joy Smith. You have taught me a lot. And guys, I'm not kidding when I say this. Ross Township is very fortunate to have these two ladies running our township. I've learned so much. I thoroughly enjoy our Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday meetings at 10 o'clock. Come down and talk a little business, then we talk about other stuff. But I'll miss the heck out of you guys. But I'll be down. I'll be down one of those days at 10 o'clock and bring you donuts or something.
Bring you donut.
Then we come to our fire department. You guys bring me so much joy. It's the reason why I get up in the morning to come to work is because of you guys. And when I became chief at the ripe age of 32, I got some sound advice and said, you'll do good. Surround yourself with great people. And that's what I've done over my career. We've hired great people. I've got great officers. I got great firefighters, great medics. And I can honestly say this, in the 20 years I've been chief, there's not been one day that I have gotten up out of bed and everybody's done it. Said, I just want to go to work. I thoroughly enjoy getting up in the morning and coming to work to lead you guys. You're the best. And we had a run a couple weeks back, and it was a bad run. The lady had fell and struck her head, and she was in cardiac arrest. And I won't name the guys, but there was 5 of them, I believe. And just to sit back and watch these men work and bring this lady back, and the effect that it had on her family, that we were able to bring her back, got her to the hospital. Unfortunately, she passed away. But just to sit back and watch what these guys do on a day-to-day basis, it's absolutely awesome. And Ross Township is very lucky to have the dedicated force that we do. I love you guys. I'm not dying. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be down for coffee. And whoever the next chief might be, I'm going to be there and support them 100%. But thank you, guys. I love all you guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Now can I take this coat off? Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Let's build a bigger office.
This is yours. Cheers.
Thank everyone for coming tonight to honor Chief Miller. The board really appreciates all of you. Closing action. Is there any further business to come before the board? Move for the adoption of motion number 24-036 to adjourn the meeting. Need a second.
You got one?
Discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Blower?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes, ma'am.
Trustee McGurran?
Yes. Next meeting of the Board of Trustees is on March 21st, 2024 at 6 p.m. at the Ross Township Government Center. The next regular meeting will be April 4th, 2024 at 6 p.m. at the Ross Government Center. Thank you.
Please join us for